Alright, Shalom. We'll start saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. What's it called? Allah Yahweh, Hawa, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. Double understood our apostles, those great millstone that taught us the truth. Peace and mercy be unto the Lord select out there that's teaching his word and truth and sincerity. Alright, I'm the brother Amar, coming back at you with another video. And this is going to be a very, very short video because I just want to center around pretty much these main two verses, if not three verses. And it's just pretty much these three verses right here, which is 9 through 11. It's just going into how the law was not created for the righteous, but pretty much for the wicked, or not for the wicked, but for the lawless, man. Because the reason why we have laws in the first place is to pretty much establish order. All right. Without law, statutes, commandments, you have no order, even to this very day. Esau abides by, penal codes and, what he classifies as laws, commandments or whatever he like to call it. I'm gonna just say laws, all right, and regulations and stuff like that. But the Most High already set up from the beginning the laws, statutes, commandments on how to govern the earth. All right, but Esau chooses not to live by them, nor do our people. But let me just get this, man. This is First Timothy. As a matter of fact, it's actually probably just 4 laws. I said 3, but just go through these 4. I mean, I said 3 verses, but let me just say these 4. First Timothy chapter 1 verse 8. It say, "But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully." And why did it say that? Because throughout time, all right, especially with our forefathers, even to this very day, there's certain laws that the men of our nation and other nations, they like to twist to use it to their benefit, man. All right, and but in particular, let's just focus on Israel. Men of our nation, they like to use laws, all right, that the Most High made and governed to our people, all right, for the benefit of our people. But you have along the line, along his list of history, along the line that men came and twisted and misused the law for their own personal gain and for negative things, man. All right, but it say, "But we know that the law is good if a man uses it lawfully," because you got certain laws that, like I said, if you use it righteously, it will be it will be beneficial, all right, towards not just you but towards everybody and everything. But you also have laws that are written that can be misused, man. All right, like as far as the giving what's the one, the giving tithes and stuff like that. People misuse that even to this very day, man. All right, and that's one of the main ones, man. All right, and there's a list of laws. There's a list of other laws too that's being misused. All right, but I said that's one of the main ones that come to my mind. But reiterating this verse, it said, "But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully," man. All right, in this verse 9, it say, "Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless," it's saying disobedient. Because if you were righteous, if we were all righteous, there would be no need for the law. All right, there would be no need for a physical, what's the word I look for? There would be no need for like physical documentation or papers to put in front of a righteous man, because you already know what to do and how to do it, man. That's why in the kingdom there's gonna be no need pretty much for the scrolls, or if you will, because they're going to be written inside of us, meaning that in the kingdom we're going to automatically be programmed on what to do and what not to do. All right, so that's what I'm saying by that. So bringing the verse 9 back, "Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners, for unholy and profane, for murderers for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, for man stealers, for liars, for perjured persons, and if there be any other thing that's contrary to sound doctrine." So that's the reason why the law was made in the first place, man, because the Most High seen that that men was gonna have trouble throughout time, all right, with obeying his his will. So he had to give us what law, statutes, commandments, man. All right, because even when you go back from the beginning of time, the way of the Most High was always there. In other words, what the Lord wanted, what the Lord's will was always there back then. Like during the time of Genesis, like during the time of Cain and Abel and all that, and Adam, it just wasn't written down like during the time of Moses. When Moses came on the scene, it was actually written down on the tablets. All right, and it was a physical. But going back to the time of Book of Genesis, all right, you had it orally, like they knew in their lab, all right, on what the will of the Lord was, on what the will of the Lord was, all right, and still is. That's why, like, you read certain accounts. That's why Cain, that's why Abel knew to give a righteous sacrifice, all right, and Cain knew to give righteous sacrifice as well, but he just chose not to. The Lord put the spirit on him not to, or should I say? That's why. But going back to that point, like I said, that's how we know they knew the law back then, because they knew to give Abel knew to give a meat offering, or I'm gonna say a offering, a sacrifice made by blood, all right, and that's in the law, all right. Well, and there's plenty of other accounts too, but like I said, that's just one of the main ones that come to mind. Um, and like I said, the law is like the scripture I just read. The law is made for the unrighteous, man. All right, that's the reason why the Lord gave us the law in the first place, man, because we kept fucking up. Let me see. This is the scripture I want. Let me see. I think this is it. Let me see. Oh, yeah, here we go. Sirach chapter 18, verse 12. It says, let me start from verse 11. Therefore is Yahweh, it said, therefore is Yahweh patient with them and poureth forth his mercy upon them, and saw and perceived their end. It's crazy, man, because the Lord can see billions of years into the future, if you will. All right. I'm not even going to put a time limit on it. Just know that the Lord can see beyond time itself. That's why it says, he saw and perceived their end to be evil, therefore he multiplied his compassions. And pretty much, like I said, that's going on all humanity, but more so is going towards the children of Israel, man. All right, he's seen the end of, how we seen the beginning and end of how mankind was started off to be and how we ended up to be, even to this current day. And he seen that it was pretty much evil. And that's why I said, therefore he multiplied his compassion. The mercy of men is toward his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh. He reproveth and nurtureth and teacheth and bringeth again as a shepherd his flock. He have mercy on them that receive discipline and that diligently seek after his judgments. All right, so that was pretty much it, man. All right, that's the reason why the Lord had to give us the law in the first place is so we wouldn't constantly so we would, for the most part, try to get better, all right, as we continue through this course called life. All right, but just know that the law is given not for the righteous, but for the ungodly. This is probably going to be the name of that title, but or the name of this title. But with that, man, I pray this edifying, give all praise and glory to Yahweh by Shem Shai, by Shem Karkadash. The honor to our apostle, Elder Great Millstone, peace and mercy be unto the Lord's elect. Shalom.